Hi, my name is Darcy McCann. Throughout the last year, I've had the opportunity to interview several advocates related to housing, something that is very important for individuals who have disabilities. What inspired me to do this project? I was inspired to complete my fellowship in housing as it relates to individuals who have developmental disabilities. I have cerebral palsy. I am passionate about giving resources to others who also have disabilities so that others can use this video as a resource to begin their own housing journey. I believe in the power of advocacy and storytelling as a powerful way for others to reach their goals with disabilities of living their lives with their own choices being always respected, especially where individuals want to live. I'm finishing actually a housing fellowship, and part of it is to get other people's housing stories. So I wanted to interview you, so letting other people with disabilities know uh, the importance of advocating as well as finding housing along with supports. And so I would like to uh, get some more education and awareness around housing uh, for people with disabilities and how advocates like ourselves can be in the community and also um, live pretty full lives despite having challenges. So,
Yeah.
Robert, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Every week we talk about disability, our challenges, and what they want in their life, and what I want in life. I want to be able to have a better place to live.
As you already know, I'm a legislative consultant, but how I got there was more of helping other people throughout the years in different positions and figuring out that there were issues and problems and that small groups of people don't do enough. But it goes back to the theory of you do more with an army than you do a small group. So I've always advocated, though, for as long as I can remember, ever since I was like 8 years old. so um I guess you could say that's ingrained in me. Outside of that, as a person, I'm actually an artist. So I do abstract art in my free time.
So I'm Maya Bareket, and I was born 3 weeks premature. I was a preemie baby, and about 7 months old, my mom and dad noticed that I was not meeting the milestones like my sister was. I was not eating or drinking or even doing walking even. And so that's when my mom took me to the doctor when I was a baby, and the doctor said, "Oh, she'll catch up." But my mom's instincts came in and she said that we need to get a second opinion. And so we went to another doctor and he referred me to the original center, and that's when they discovered that I had learning disabilities. Through most of my life, I was in special ed, and I started with Hope Services when I was 18 when I was 18 years old, and I've been with Hope since.
I'm a native of San Francisco, born and raised in San Francisco. I worked for Golden Gate Regional Center as for rights advocate and live on my own.
I went to Mission College to do retail florist for about 3 semesters, and I graduated with my retail florist degree for my major.
I was born in Houston, Texas, but I grew up in Boulder Creek, California. I live on my own now, but with a housemate. I like to go out for walks. I like to listen to music, watch TV.
Who do you live with now?
I live with my housemate, Ethan. And then he and I both have care providers that come over. I like that we don't have to share meals together, but we still get to spend some time together.
You live with a roommate?
Uh-huh. Yeah. His name is Troy Hernandez.
Oh, I know Troy.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
In fact, I'm so happy with him because he just got his certificate for working for Options for All for 25 years.
Wow, 25 years. That's great.
I live on my own in a 1-bedroom apartment in Panorama City and have assistants come in and out.
So I live by myself. I do have 2 bedrooms. The other one I keep now only as a guest room for now.
Now I live with one live-in aide, but I'm in the process of hiring another live-in aide.
How old were you when you started this housing journey or housing process?
Officially 16. It was quite interesting because it was an action of the state. I was emancipated, so it was an action of the state, which means I didn't initially get to choose where I got to go. When that happens, you're often what's known as placement. So I was placed in a group home, but knew I wanted to get out. So I encountered a person within the first 6 months of me being there that informed me about affordable housing offered at the time by that company. So from the day I found that out, I just bugged them until by the time I was 19, turning 20, they just had no reasoning to keep me in a group home anymore. So that's actually how I got my first apartment, was basically learning the system and then advocating through it. And I also lost that housing 3 years later due to existing red tape of the time, and got that red tape removed, but it still resulted in me losing my house and having to deal with regular rent and the unwillingness for landlords to even do simple modification, even if I offered to pay for it.
At the age of 23.
How old are you now? 50. Wow. I've lived on my own since I was 18 years old, and I am 41.
So I was 26, living in freedom at the time on my own with 24/7 care. Or no, not even that yet. And so I was just living on my own, but I had a company called Monarch that was helping me once or twice a week or so. And then I got into an accident, and then that's when I started receiving 24/7 care, was after the accident.
In my teens, I think, I'm not sure. I lived in a group home, ICF, and they didn't treat me good.
Well, I'm glad you're in supportive living and people are treating you good. You deserve that.
I would say 18. years old. I didn't move into my own place till I was like, I think 28.
Okay. Who has supported you in finding housing or in your current living situation?
Hope helps me with job coaching in my job, and they help me with my independent living as well. So like once a week, I'll go out with my ILS instructor and we'll walk for like a couple of hours and just enjoy downtown, which is very close to where I live. And like I said, she's probably going to take me for my shots, so I'll go by car. So occasionally I'll go by car places, but not as much because of the pandemic. My mom and dad have supported me with my current living situation. They helped me get my place, and through a friend that was a real estate agent. So what my dad did is he shopped around for different areas he thought would be good, and they bought the house for me, and I'm kind of like the tenant in the house. But they wanted me to have a place that was near my old residential care home, which was Hatika House, which was like across the street from where I am. And so this was a perfect location, and that's why my parents got it for me.
Mostly myself and the agency that I'm with to work.
My service coordinator, because I've had to literally write it into IPPs as as my situations have changed. I've had to literally write it in. So my service coordinator has been my consistent support system, even though, like I said, I lead the charge. He helps me put it into writing so I can formally request XYZ assistance from who I need to.
How long have you had this service coordinator?
Let's see, 15 years.
Oh my goodness, you are one lucky person.
My dad is Sandra's Original Center and Options for All. ILS instructors are really good, helpful, and they do help you with your situations that you have problems with, and they are really, really good.
A company called Santa Cruz Supported Living Services has helped me find the spot where I'm living at now. Because both my housemate and I are a part of Santa Cruz Supported Living Services. And my mom has been one of my biggest advocates, if not my biggest one.
How long did the process take from when you put your name on any list to actually you obtaining your housing?
It took approximately 10 years, the time that I got put on the waiting list on Section 8 until eventually my name got drawn.
Do you have a Section 8 voucher?
That pays for a lot of the rent that I have to pay. And so I only have to pay a smaller portion of the rent. I wouldn't just get on the list early. I would keep bothering the company. I would continually ask them, where am I on the waiting list? Has my name showed up on the waiting list yet?
I would say probably when I was in my group home. I lived there for 8 years, like equivalent to how long I've been living here. And so I would say since I started living at the group home, I was talking about how I want to have my own place someday. And so I would say clearly as when I started thinking about how I wanted to live independently in my own place.
What was it like for you coming from your group home to now independent living?
I love it. It's so much more independence, and like I don't have to worry about like signing out a book and curfew, and I don't have to worry about signing in and out meds, getting them stopped and to stay up as late as I want, and like living my life independently. I just like it so much better than the group home life.
Took about 2 years.
Are you on Section 8?
No, I'm on the program that's for adults with disabilities for that through Options for All.
Okay. And do they help you with your housing?
And this property here is managed by Midpin Properties.
Okay. So Mid Peninsula Housing?
It took about 6 months to find where I'm living now.
8 years. Like I said, I ended up at a hotel room, and that was because of roommate situation not working out.
What are some things that you like about your living situation?
I love the size of everything. Like, I love the general structure of everything. I mean, it's what HUD is, but that's what I love about it. I can go through a doorway without slamming the doorway. I mean, I love the bathroom. The bathroom is like my dream bathroom. It's a walk-in bathroom.
I get a lot of support, and I try to do things by what I can, but I know that they're there to help me.
I would say I like pretty much that it's close to downtown, so I can walk to downtown. It's close to walking to anywhere, actually. I can walk to anywhere I want to go. So like that's my favorite part about it. And I'm very close to my parents. So I'm like less than 10 minutes from my parents, and so that's nice.
The building they maintain it really well, and I'm able to. I like having my own place. I don't have to answer to nobody.
So a lot of them are a lot of my best close friends.
What I love about my living situation currently is that it's closer to a lot of other things than Freedom, California was. I mean, there's a grocery store walking distance. There's a movie theater that's walking distance. I can walk to the mall. There's a couple of restaurants that's walking distance. I can walk to the beach. I love how close I am to everything.
What is one aspect of your living situation that you would change?
I don't like living in a high-rise building. That's beginning to bother me as I grow older. And
The area itself, like, if I could make it so HUD buildings were built in slightly better areas, I'm not talking like high income areas, I'm talking middle class, even middle lower class.
Do you feel safe where you live?
Can't say yes to that because things have happened here. I mean, I get semi used to it. I'm very alert of my situation, but it is very hard to deal with. That's why I'm saying that it's not specifically here. I've noticed that HUD buildings are built on borders of cities and impoverished areas in general. So did I apply for other places? Yes. Have I learned that those other places are still in similar situations? Yes. So it's a multi-level problem.
What I don't like is sometimes at night I'll hear noises outside of my apartment, thinking that I'm not kidding that sometimes at night there will be people banging on my door, and they'll be like rudely like banging and tapping on my window, and like I don't know who they are, and I don't do anything because I get afraid. So I just lay down in my room and ignore it. So I don't like that sometimes people I think are coming up to my steps and bothering me in the middle of the night. It got to the point where I actually did call the cops. I did let them know that this happened, and they said we will. I gave them the time and when it happened and everything, and they said we will send a patrol car and watch. And I haven't had it happen for a while.
Have you found your ideal living situation?
I think so. For now, this is good. I think I don't know what's going to happen down the road, but for now, this is a good starter home. And whatever happens down the road, then I'll take it.
My ideal situation is to one day own my own home.
Yeah, because I like living here and I have a lot of friends that live here. So I know two of my best friends are moving out soon, but I don't know how soon they could be moving out.
I see. Wow.
So once they move out, then I'm gonna have to. I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, I might be eligible to get one of the apartments.
Yeah. So ideally, your like ideal living situation would be living on your own in an apartment.
Right.
Okay.
I think that I have finally found my ideal living situation.
It works right now, but ultimately I have other goals in my life to where living here is not a permanent goal. Actually would love to adopt a child eventually. So to do all that in HUD is extremely hard. My ideal living situation would be to take an apartment like this, so with wide doorways, a nice bathroom, and have all the structural needs for a person who's physically disabled and using a chair, and move it to an area that's not so dangerous. And maybe a little bit less restrictive on the rules, because as I said, on a personal level, there are things that I want that HUD doesn't permit very easily.
I like where I'm at. I've been at my place for over 20 years, but is this really where I want to be the rest of my life? No. So, but once you get into a place, it's hard to get out of it, and there's no like going back. So, do you have any words of encouragement or advice that you would have for others that are going to see this video and kind of want to do kind of what you've done and being able to be as independent as possible? Is there anything you would tell them?
Just to never quit fighting the good fight and to never give up, and that to just keep in mind that it will happen one day. It may not happen as soon as they would like, but it will happen one day.
I would tell them that no matter what their disability is, they can live on their own with the right support. There's no need to live in a big institution, even if you're medically fragile.
Individuals with disabilities can receive the same types of support and care that they need in a smaller setting.
Don't be scared. Just do it. And yes, it's gonna be hard in the beginning, especially if you haven't done it before. It's gonna be hard, but nothing worth having is ever easy, and you just have to speak up, say what you want and don't want, say what you like and don't take no for an answer.
They can go through agencies like Housing Choices or Housing Coalition, or they can call 211, and that might help them, or they can go online and do research and then go on house tours and see how they like it and go from there.
Anything can be done. You need to do your research and you need to connect with the right people. Get to know the advocacy organizations in your area or in your state that handle those situations to help guide you through the process. But work on becoming your own leader of your own life. Everything I've done as I've lived here, I figure it out as I go, even when I went to college. Let yourself rest if you need to, but keep on going.
Those are some really powerful words there that I'm sure so many people will have great benefit in hearing your story. And this is part of the whole reason why I've decided to do this housing fellowship, is to talk with other advocates and see kind of what their perspective is, because everybody's situation is very unique, and that's what makes it so so special. But if we can do some more encouragement and just letting people know the importance of getting services along with housing, that's important. What unexpected things did I learn from completing this fellowship video? I learned from finishing this video that individuals with disabilities want to have the same needs as their friends who do not have disabilities. Some common responses were, I want a safe and affordable permanent place where I can afford because of my low income or being able to take a Section 8 voucher. Advocates said that it is important to be able to be close to my work, family, and friends, as well as to my hobbies. Having my pets are important to me. It is important to respect everyone's unique individual choices and to respect that everyone has a right to live on their own in their own community with supports. If you are interested in perhaps looking into resources and how to do this in your own community, I would suggest by contacting your own disability related services and seeing if there's a housing coordinator or someone that can help you. In California, contact your regional center service coordinator, or the Department of Developmental Services might also be a great resource. Anything related to any of your disability councils also might show housing resources for individuals with disabilities. One final tip is it does take a long time, so start early and be persistent and never give up on your dream of wanting to be as independent as possible. Thank you.